Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she is a master nail educator, a businesswoman, nail judge, and she is a part of INJA, which is the International Nail Judge Association. Please welcome Anna Wesolowska. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Asia. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's such a pleasure to have you on the show, and your work is incredible. I love your work.
Thank you.
So colorful, it's so vibrant. And I wanted to start off with how's everything in California? Because I know you live in California. How's everything down there?
Yes, me personally, I don't work in the salon, so I haven't been affected under this side. But salons were closed for a long time. I think now they are open again. But me personally, I was affected with all my travels that I stopped literally for months now. So it's not very good, but I think they are open again. I haven't followed, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like here, like there's a lot of stuff that's open, and there's some businesses that are closed for quite a little bit. And it's like snowing where I live, so it's been snowing since like yesterday.
Wow. Now here we are very lucky. It's practically summer all the time.
Yeah. So we're getting a couple inches of snow, so it's very interesting. So I wanted to start off with how you grew up and also how'd you get into the beauty industry. So if you can talk about your story as to how you grew up as well as your start into the beauty industry, that would be great.
Sure. So I'm originally from Poland, and I lived there for 20 years, where I did the not nail school, the beautician school. So our schools are very intense, we can say. I was very lucky to find a really amazing school where they taught us a lot, and it was 2 years. And we didn't do really nails there. I was more into treatments, facials, all this stuff. So later, when I was about to finish, my dad knew people that wanted to open a nail salon in Gran Canaria. So for me, as a 20-year-old, Gran Canaria, amazing. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna, of course, I accept that offer, but I had to know how to make nails. And I had no idea about acrylic, about gel. I had zero interest in that direction. I only did normal nail polishes. So I went to a fantastic company. I went to Odyssey Nail System at the time, distributor in my city, and they taught me how to make acrylic. And then I went to Gran Canaria to work in that salon with another friend of mine. We became a big friends after that. And from then it started. So I literally was like learning and practicing on those clients there. I'm so sorry for them. I could not, like in the beginning, see that my nails were actually too wide and maybe they were not as they were supposed to. So my fantastic friend was, my mentor, let's say. I'm very grateful to her. And then slowly, just with a lot of patience, I was getting better and better. But in that time when we were there, I think it was 1 year and a half, we also received a proposition to go to work in Rome, in Italy, because of another friend. So we said, you know what? It's been a long time since we've been here on this beautiful island. Let's go and explore. So we literally packed in 2 weeks and we were gone to Italy, to Rome. But we didn't really like that. It was after the beautiful Green Gran Canaria. Rome in February was gray and cold. So we said, no, we don't want to stay here. So we went to Switzerland and then to Palermo, to Sicily. So I'm a traveler. But from that moment when we moved, when we first time went to Rome, I started working with this company, Clarissa Nails, and they were giving us different options where we can work because they had distributors all over the Europe. So we were extremely blessed that we could literally choose where we would like to live and work with them, because what was happening, that in that time, there were not a lot of people working with acrylic in Italy. A lot of people were working only with gel. So our power was acrylic, and that's why it all started. And then with this company, I started doing a lot of courses, learning more and more. We were inviting a lot of masters from other countries like Ukraine, Russia. We are really blessed in Europe that we have all those amazing artists like from Hungary. Right, so it's very close and it's very easy to continue your education on high level. So one time Anthony Buckley came, that he was a very famous master from Easy Flow at the time, and he came to teach us for a super nail system, because he was educator also for this. And he said, why you guys don't go for competitions, to participate in competitions? And we said, competitions, but that's like a big stuff. No, we are not ready. So he came next time, we invited him again, and he taught, I think he was the one that made a first competition course for us. So we said, okay, let's go. We went to London to the very important competition in Europe, and Nail-Olympia. No, it was Nail-Olympics then. And we participated there as very, insecure in all this big world of all the Asians that are so amazing, Koreans, that are like really, really super high level. And that was a big surprise, because in that first competition, I managed to take first place in acrylic sculpture, and I think it was gel sculpture or a stiletto. I don't remember right now, but I took 2 first places in, of course, novice. But it was a big thing. I was so emotional, and from there it was just like, okay, let's do it for another competition. So it was the first like the entry to this big world of nails. And after that, in fact, I met Lysa Comfort, that was very famous, in fact, in the competition world. And we knew that she's preparing also people from competition. So we invited her to Rome to teach us again. And from there started a new story, because she saw me and my brother that also does nails as that we were good for competition and we had some nail skills. And so we went for another competition. We again won some trophies, also my brother. And then Lysa started teaching or organizing courses to become a judge. And then the judging story started. So I went for the first judging course that she organized in Bologna with Antonio Sacripante. And there was about 50 people from all over the world. And then I stopped doing competitions at this point, or maybe I did one more, but I started more going into the judging part, because it was really a beautiful experience meeting all of the people from different companies, high level people. But when we were judging, it didn't mean from which company you are and that you are maybe from competitive companies, that everybody just becomes a nice, beautiful team. And it's a beautiful experience. You can learn a lot. In fact, one of my favorite judging experiences was actually floor judge. It's the first, before you go behind the curtain, it's the first experience that you should do. So I was with floor judge with my very good friend, and we enjoyed it so much. There were so many amazing nail artists, and we were walking around just to see if someone needs some help, someone has some question, or maybe to see if nobody's cheating. We were walking around and we were amazed, like, oh my God, did you see what he's doing? Like what technique she's using? So we were actually learning from all of those amazing nail artists that were coming from Ukraine and all of the different countries, of course, also Italy. So it was a beautiful experience. But also behind the curtain, it's nice, but it's a lot of responsibility. So that's an important part. So and then with Lysa Comfort, my story continued. In fact, in 2015, I moved here to United States from Italy to work with her. So that's one thing that I came to the judging course in 2000, I don't know, 13 or 12. Later actually changed my life. And now I'm here in the United States from 2015 working with her.
Now, I want to ask like this one question, like, was there anybody that really inspired you to get into nails or like the whole beauty industry in general?
To get into nails, well, I think it was just, I think it was just what happened with the proposition of moving to Gran Canaria that I entered into nails. I don't know if that didn't happen. If I would, maybe I would just be a beautician, right? But later, definitely after I entered into world of nails, yes, I was very impressed by work of Lilia Serediskaya. She's from Ukraine, amazing nail artist. She was very popular at that time. Yes. Then you have Irina Moskevska. Oh my God. Irina Moskevskaya, she's from Moldavia, also amazing. So yes, there were definitely, once I entered into this world and I started finding out about people, they were very, very inspiring. The only thing is that when I started, we didn't have all this YouTube and internet and social media that you could get inspiration from. So we were a little bit lost, you know, like we were like walking slowly, not such a big access to products. The only thing we had was like some very basic color gels that you just could do like simple things. I find that now, whoever is starting now, it's so much easier, in my opinion, from one side. From the other side, I find it might be a little bit overwhelming because there are so many techniques and some person can be a little bit lost. Oh my God, what I start from? But internet just helps a lot, I find today.
Yeah, like when I got into nail art, one of my inspirations was Lilia Serediskaya, and I loved her work so much. And also I was inspired by Catherine Wong and Viv Simmons. And Viv Simmons is from Australia and Catherine Wong's from Singapore. And I liked a lot of their work. I was very inspired by their artistry and the amount of detail that they had within their work. It's very amazing to see. Now, I want to talk about like salon business wise. So what is your whole experience owning a salon or working in a salon? And what tips would you give to somebody that wants to own a salon or work in a salon?
Well, I never owned a salon, but I moved too much. I don't feel like it's a thing for me to own a salon. But working in salon, well, when I worked in salon, it was in Italy. And I find that sometimes I was maybe putting too much pressure with the time and maybe losing the precision part because you are such a rush that every 1 hour you have the appointment. Right. Now that I don't work in salon anymore, and when I do like nails sometimes to my friend or someone, I just see, oh my God, I'm so much slower, but I'm paying so much more attention to every detail. So I think this is what is the problem, that when you work in the salon, as sometimes people say, that the work in salon destroys the nail technicians because the rush is making you lose the precision. So I think just pay attention more to detail. And first of all, the not harming the clients. What I see here a lot in salons, what is happening, like when students coming to courses, or even you hear around that in salons, just people just get destroyed their nails, and it's just such a bad opinion later for all the nail techs, and it's very sad. So this is what I always try to remind all my students, to take care of that part. Other than that, now I honestly don't have anything particular in mind. It was quite a long time ago that I worked in the salon, so maybe I'm not the best person to say.
Yeah, like with being in a salon, because I worked at a spa during my last year of college. So I've understood what with clients and interact with them, but also take care of their hands and nails. So yeah, their hands and feet. So I give them like manicures and pedicures And it's very important to take care of their nails. Like, you don't just start with like polishing it. You have to understand the foundation. You have to understand how to care for them.
Yeah.
And I want to go into you being an esthetician because I find that really, really nice to see. Like, you're not just a nail artist and a nail judge, you're also an esthetician, which cares for the skin and the overall health of the skin. So I wanted to ask, how important is skincare? How important is to take care of your skin? Not only just beautifying your nails, but also taking care of your skin. And once you have like nails and skin like taken care of and very beautified, like how important is that? And what tips can you recommend, or what products you recommend for someone to better take care of their skin?
So I find that this is, in fact, the thing that we very often forget about while doing nails. That a lot of people just do the nail and just abandon the client. Okay, you're free to go. But I always loved to take the few steps forward and a part of course, the traditional oil for the cuticle. I always recommend, and I always did, apply a nice lotion at the end, make a nice massage. So after all this 1 hour and 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of sitting, that client has this nice moment of relaxation, and we hydrate the skin. I remember, I remember also for all my clients with natural nails, I used the very old system of our grandmothers, and this means a little bit of oil heated with some lemon and soak your nails in that. And this just makes nails and the skin and the cuticle area so well moisturized and just looks so much better. And I always teach people that if we teach the client to take care of her cuticle area every day, then when she comes after those 21 days, after 30 days to us, it's so much less work for us while preparing the cuticle area, right? Rather than dried, and it's just so much more work for us. So this is what I always try to teach, and I find that results are just amazing when we compare the client that doesn't put anything on her cuticle area, on her cuticles during the month, and the one that does. So this is one of the very important things that I always try to teach them. And also my friend Lysa, also she teach her clients another very fun, a very, very good trick is to push after the shower, right after the shower with the towel when they are drying, they push very gently the proximal fold. And in this way, also, they maintain their cuticle area in a very good state during this month. And then again, it's so much less work for us.
And that's what I've also learned in the spa, like, after manicure or pedicure, give them a massage so you have the client relaxed. But also too, you can use like natural like shea butter, you can use cocoa butter. Also too, with nail care and also skincare, it's based on your diet. So when you take in like vitamins, vegetables, and fruits, and you nourish your body, that nourishes your nails, that nourishes your skin as well. So I believe that nourishing the hands and the nails is very important. And the foundation, like in terms of like nail polish and then like the nail art, that's like the fun part. So I wanted to ask, like,
exactly.
So I wanted to ask, pertaining to your businesses. So you have an online store called My Little Nail Art Shop, and you sell different products like basic manicure tools, acrylics, gels. And I want you to also talk about your blue amber gel polish line. And like, tell us about your whole shop and how'd you come up with the name My Little Nail Art Shop?
Well, this is I started in 2019, the beginning of 2019, and it's I was just thinking, I got inspired to start because of a podcast on YouTube, Impact Theory. Very, very powerful, where there are so many businessmen, people, super successful, but very often with a very hard past, and that went through a lot. And they show how with power of your mind and not surrendering, you can achieve amazing things. And just listening and all of those advices, I said, well, I think I'm ready. Why don't I do something on my own? So I was thinking, what shop? Like, I was like, I want just my little shop, my little nail art shop. Okay, this will be the name. Just so easy. I think this part just came so natural. It was just somewhere in my mind. And I thought it would be just for like nail art, because I love nail art. This is my favorite part. So I was just saying, I would love to have nail art that I want to use, and then I can teach with this. So I want to have products that I can teach with, that I'm interested in, so I can give ideas. And then it just started like, oh, let's add this, let's add that. And then the foil gel, and then just slowly it grew up. And I said, well, I think I might have my own gel, my own product as well, a part of working with Charisma, that is Lysa's Comfort line. So I was all the time teaching with her products, but it's more concentrated on acrylic and a structure, while I wanted something concentrated also on the nail art. That's why my part comes here. So I said, well, maybe I can have my own gels for the nail art. And I was saying what name I can give. Well, I'm from Poland, and our like a symbol, let's say, of Poland is amber, especially from my city. We have a lot of amber that is just on the beach. My dad, in fact, has a bag full of raw amber. That's a long time ago. It was much more easy to find than now. But I said, well, amber is like, for me, it's a symbol of my city. But that's what amber, blue, okay, blue amber. So this is how it happened. And then actually I found out that there is actually a blue amber. It actually exists in the nature, and that was a big surprise for me. I had no idea. So it's just stay like this. So I created this line, and it's my little baby. And honestly, 3 years ago, I would never thought that I would take that step, but I'm very excited that I got inspired from podcasts, simply.
Now, for the Blue Amber gel polish line, now for someone who wants to start their own gel polish line or nail polish line, what steps do they need to take to have a successful gel polish line or regular nail polish line?
Well, what steps to take? Well, you have to do a lot of research. And I think, like if you today, I think it's so much easier than before. Before, only big companies could start big lines because of the quantity of material that you had to buy. In fact, in Italy, I remember when I started working with Italian company, there were no small companies like me, for example. There were only big ones, but then slowly, like it became easier and easier. So I think today it's just a research of the product that you want to have, and it's a process between the logos and packaging and I think you just have to know what you're interested into. Colors are just amazing. Sometimes it's just so difficult to decide in colors. They're just like a rainbow. So I think it's just, it's easier today more than ever.
And I want to talk about your nail art courses. You offer different nail art courses pertaining to like 3D acrylic, how to sculpt a structure of a nail. So how can somebody apply for your courses, and what other courses do you offer?
Well, so now I offer all the courses more through online. And in fact, I'm going to be working more and more on that. It just has been a little bit problem with the time. But yes, before I was doing all the courses in person with people before all this COVID situation started. And so I teach from the structure. I love, for example, all the particular shapes that I know from Europe.
Mhm.
And here, when I arrived 5 years ago, it maybe wasn't so popular yet. So
Mhm.
it was easier for me here to propose what I know from Europe and start teaching it here, like gel painting, like all the new shapes, like, for example, Gothic almond, that I find is one of the most elegant and beautiful shapes. Stiletto, of course, is more simple. Russian almonds, pipe. There are so many forms that are maybe less used here. Monroe or Merlin, depends
Mhm.
from which country you are. Then passing to the nail art, I love gel paints. I find gel paint is one of the best inventions for the nail art that is there,
Mhm.
because before the gel paint, we were using acrylic paints or
Mhm.
watercolor paints.
Mhm.
But I find it so much more difficult to learn with acrylic paint because of the drying time. And you have to have a really good brand so you get a good coverage.
Mhm.
Sometimes there were problems with chipping off. So when the gel paints came in, it was amazing, and it opened so many more possibilities. So gel paint is one of my favorite, and I have a lot of courses with gel paint. And now, in fact, I just will be starting with one stroke
Mhm.
courses, gel paint. I just created for Blue Amber a one stroke line. So
Mhm.
it's like super pigmented and just gives me exactly what I want from acrylic paint. So a very good coverage,
Mhm.
but what gives me also gel, so the time that you want to just blend it and move your brush, because I find that on one stroke is one of the most difficult nail art techniques, and in
Mhm.
fact a lot of students has a lot of trouble. So I want to repropose it again, but with a very high quality, very good pigmentation gel. So I hope it will be easier. Apart of that, we can do of course traditional gel painting techniques, etc., adjustable. Watercolor, I started now, and I'm gonna be releasing it soon. Uh, like a watercolor effect, watercolor look with gel polishes.
Mhm.
So those semi translucent color gel polishes that are now. I
Mhm.
have in my line not a lot of colors, but I think enough to play with. So I will be launching a watercolor effect with those. It's really easy and fun to do,
Mhm.
and then watercolor paints. They are still coming back all the time. I'm using
Right.
very beautiful company, Russian paints, Russian brands, that St. Petersburg, for watercolor. And sometimes they are coming back with better techniques, and this is what I love as well. A part of that, of course, 3D acrylic. That's never dying. 3D
Mhm.
acrylic.
Right.
We have now with Lysa for Charisma, we created like a new line of acrylic powders that are just quicker in drying and just so pigmented. We actually manually created them on our own. So
Mhm.
it's a beautiful line. And this is also something I will be concentrating in next few weeks on creating an online course. As live courses, I don't know when I'm going to start traveling. When we'll see what happens in the with this situation that's going on now. But definitely, I'm going to concentrate a lot of attention on online courses right now.